is much too much, or wouldn't you say? A second is too short, an eon too long. A week is just stupid, and so is this song. Ooh, everybody's got a half an hour. Haven't you got a half an hour? This bill only needs a half an hour. So come in and stay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kirchenbauer Half an Hour. I'm Bill Kirchenbauer, whom the show is named after, kind of. And our motto here is, I talk to myself a lot anyway, so you might as well listen in. This is an reincarnation, if you will, of a audio podcast that I started doing a few years ago. But as life goes by, things change, things happen, and COVID was one big effect. I did it with Jason Willett, who I will give credit to for the song, our opening song, and the video that goes with it is my good friend Mike Clark put that together. I think it's kind of classy opening. And we started doing this on audio, and I had a lot of my famous friends on it over, I don't know how many episodes we did. We did 25, 26, something like that. And it was kind of an interview show, more or less. But a lot of things changed. Jason has a family. He has a life. I don't. So he was involved with doing things. And since I am in Bangkok, the video podcast capital of the world, the time difference was very strange. And then if we wanted to inject someone else into it on the West Coast, he was on the East Coast, me in Thailand, the East Coast, West Coast, it was just a real mess. It was a real time zone mess, and it was difficult. So after gosh, it's been about 4 years, I think. And I suggest you go back and listen to some of the audio. Had a lot of interesting people on it. But I have found now that I wanted to do it. First of all, we had to go video. I'm just listening was not. So you have to look at my face. Even my face has changed. I used to have hair on the side there, not a lot. But I had hair, and about a month or two ago, I just said, fuck it. I'm not gonna fight it. I'm going to go along with it. And I quit worrying about whether my sideburns were even, and so now I look different, though not that differently. So things have changed. It's the Kirchenbauer Half an Hour, and there's a little, if you want to call a little secret there to the title. If you look at it, what do they call them in videos? Secret. Paul, help me out here. What's the word? Oh, I want to introduce Paul, by the way. Paul, you're not going to see too much of. Paul Brumbaugh. Paul. People, Paul Brumbaugh.
Hey guys, how are you doing out there? It's good to see you.
What do they call it? The secret, when they put little secrets in video games and stuff. Donuts.
Oh, they call them Easter eggs. Because we're coming up on Easter, right?
I knew it was something to eat.
You knew it was something good and tasty.
Yeah. So if you look at the title of the show, there's a little Easter egg there that if you really look at it, you'll see what the true name of the show is. But we're going to go with Kirchenbauer Half an Hour. I think the most predominant thing people want to always know about me is what the hell are you doing in Thailand? And I have questions all the time, and I've gone over it. And before I wasn't in Thailand, but now I am. So I'm going to answer a lot of the questions, most common questions I get. It's going to be a half an hour. You got a half an hour, just like the song says. And then I'm going to go away. And then hopefully every week, Paul and I will attempt to put on put on a show, and talk about things. So let's go back here. Why I'm sitting on my ass in Thailand. Number one, I made a mistake years ago when I took my son here on a vacation, and he fell in love with it. And he was about 16, 17 years old. And he said to me, Dad, I wanna move here. And I said, are you crazy? Yeah, this is on the other side. We lived in Austin, Texas at the time. I said, this is on the other side of the world. And he said, no, I want to go to college here. And he showed me how much it was. And it's a great college. It was called Chulalongkorn. And 50,000 students go there. It's highly respected. And he wanted to study international finance. And so, like, within 2 weeks after him graduating high school, he was off. And we didn't see him for 7 years, or at least my wife did. And I came here and visited. And then he said to us, you should move here. And I said, are you crazy? It's on the other side of the world. It's a whole different country. It's 9,000 miles away. It's not even in the same, it's nuts. Well, nuts has been part of my life. So he talked me into liquidating a lot of what I had, and I bought a condominium here. You're not allowed to own land here as a foreigner or a farang. I've learned to speak a little Thai. A farang is not allowed to own land, but you can own a condominium. So we don't live in a house, and we live in a condominium. It's not huge. But Lynn has her room, I have my room, and we have a garden patio. Remember, like on Green Acres, hi, just $1 a penthouse view. Well, that's kind of what we have with trees and stuff on it. And we're in the middle of Bangkok, which is, by the way, the most heavily visited country in the world. Not just country, but Bangkok itself. It outdoes Las Vegas. It outdoes Paris. It outdoes it by millions. I think 28, 30 million is the average amount of people. And why? Well, it's very accessible. And as far as Southeast Asia goes, it's very multicultural. And it's not a third world. Like people always ask me, how do you get around? And Americans tend to have, in fact, when my son was leaving high school, he was telling his friends, I'm going to Thailand. And they go, Thai what? Taiwan? No, Thailand. Oh, Thai. I don't know. They didn't know. They didn't know what Thailand was. They didn't know what Thailand was. So anyway, he came here. He went to college for 4 years. He got a degree in international finance, which is way above my pay grade and mental capabilities. And that was it. And then he said, you should buy a condo. And I did. I bought an empty lot. They didn't have anything there. So it was sight unseen. It took them 3 years to build it. They like to collect money before they start building. So I picked a spot on the condo that we have, where, how a building has a base and then it goes in and then it goes up. Well, we're on top of that base. So it's a very unique part of the building in that we're only one of 3 units on the floor. And I have this garden patio that is very entertaining. And I open up and even the penthouse doesn't have it. It's a 34-story tall condominium. It's in the heart of Bangkok. Now, I've always been a suburban person. I've always lived in the suburbs, but now I live in the urban area. I go down the stairs, and it's like New York. The laundry, the restaurants, and there's a mall. And I don't have a car anymore for the first time since I've been 16. I don't have car insurance. I don't have a car. I don't have to buy gas. Interestingly enough, a lot of cars over here in Thailand run on propane. Yeah. Yeah. So there's gas cars too, and they're very heavy and electric. I don't see any old jalopies like you go down to Mexico and you see 1986 Oldsmobiles. Everything's new. They get Chinese cars. They get brands of. I'm always seeing brands of Chinese cars that I've never heard of. It's a very, very modern city, but it does have its funky, and I like funky. I've been to Singapore, and they got rid of all their funky, and now it looks like Dallas. So Bangkok is a multi-ethnic place. I once lived in San Francisco, and I liked San Francisco. Paul's from San Francisco.
That's right. Now, what part of the city did you live in at that time?
Well, my dad, Paul, was the sergeant major of the Presidio, and before that, we lived in Alaska. So right. We lived there in San Francisco for about 4 years. I lived on the Presidio. I went to a school that's no longer there. It was called Grant Elementary School. I'd walk out the gate and go, and then I went to Marina Junior High School for a little while. And so I'm very familiar with San Francisco, and it probably is my most favorite American city, in that it is multi-ethnic, and that's one thing I find very important. You want Chinese food? I mean, real Chinese food, well, especially in San Francisco, you can get it. If you want Japanese food, you can go get it. If you want to, and Bangkok is a lot like that. There's a Chinatown, there's a Koreatown, there's and a lot of people from all over the area. Chinese people come here. There's English pubs. There's German restaurants because the Germans come here. So Thailand, if you go to any other Southeast Asian country, you're going to get their culture. And that's pretty much it. You go to China, you might be able to dig up an Italian restaurant, a little, but you're going to get that culture. And a lot of people leave the United States and become what they call expats. But to me, they kind of wussy out, and they go to Belize, or they go to Mexico, which is not a good idea. And they just, I think their thought pattern is, well, I can get back to the United States real quick, and I can't. This is on the other side of the world, so it's a real commitment.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you made a real commitment being there. Now, how you were talking about you don't own a car, you haven't driven for the first time in 16 years. How is that different? I mean, it probably reminds you of your days in San Francisco, even though you were younger than public transportation.
Yeah, I did. I took the bus that had the electric. Do they still have those? The electric buses?
Oh yeah, they have Muni. They have Muni that connect to the wires up above. Yeah, yes, they do.
Right. Every once in a while, the little arms on the bus.
And the bus driver will have to stop, get off, and he gets this big old thing. It's like a coat hanger and hangs it back up on the wire. Right. And so yeah, they still have Munis. A lot of the Munis are now either EV. Or they're hybrids, or they're the old gas ones from the 70s and 80s that we remember.
Right. Well, here in Thailand, again, people think, it's so. We have what we call the BTS, Bangkok Transport System. It's not a monorail. Some sections of it are a monorail, but for all intents and purposes, it looks like a monorail, but it's actually trains on a track that run all over the city. They have a wonderful infrastructure as far as subways and the BTS. And I live a 3-minute walk to a BTS station.
Okay.
And I go up there and I have my little card that I swipe and I go in, and it's public transportation. It's not like New York, where you would think where you're going to get beat up by anybody. There's no graffiti.
I was wondering, is there the smell of urine? Does it make you feel like you're at home anymore?
No.
It's very clean. You don't have to worry about being mugged.
No, I could go out at 2:00 in the morning and walk around here and feel perfectly safe. Nobody has, and I have done that. Feel perfectly safe. What other reasons? Why do you live there, Bill? Well, how about my phone? When we first got here, my wife and I bought brand new iPhones, and so we got here and went to the place. There's a couple of providers. One is called AIS. Another one is called True. We went to AIS, and I said, we want to live here now. And the woman said, well, you want a yearly plan? And I said, okay. So she said, that'll be $175. And I said, oh, is that for the first month? She said, no, that's for the whole year for both phones. And I thought, wow. And it's 5G. It's not hinky dinky. It's just, so once a year I pay $175. That covers my phone, my wife's phone, all you can eat. And it's fast. My internet, which, see, I don't have cable TV anymore. I have a Fire Stick, which one of the smartest things I did before I left the country was I bought a Fire Stick, and I plugged it in. I plug it into my TV. I hook up to my internet, which is $21 a month for 300 megabytes a second. And I watch Netflix, which is here and legal. They serve Thailand. In fact, they even have Thai movies. But I watch YouTube. I watch Amazon, which is here, and Apple TV. And between YouTube and Pluto and all these other things that I can watch on my TV, I'm totally in touch. I mean, I watch the nightly news every night.
Is there things that they don't have that you miss?
Yes.
What is it? What's the biggest? What do you call it? What's the biggest thing that you miss from in TV?
American beef.
American beef. I'm guessing that's a barbecue show or something, or
No, it's American beef.
Actual American beef.
Actual American beef. We don't. Okay. Americans are spoiled. They don't know how good they have it when it comes to beef. I've learned a lot about beef since I've been here. Okay. The situation here is, yes, they have beef. But what kind of beef?
Wait, hold on. What kind of beef? What do you mean?
Oh yeah.
Don't tell me I'm gonna have a beef about beef. Hold on. Tell me what's going on.
Well, let's start from the low part. The lowest form of beef is water buffalo. What? And you'll get that in some of the soups, and it's tough. It's kind of funky. Then you can move up to Thai French beef, which is a little bit better. But the big difference is they don't have an import deal with the United States because of the mad cow disease. What was that, 30 years ago?
Right.
And it's further away. So they get a lot of their beef from Australia or New Zealand. Some of it comes from Argentina. Now, the problem is with beef is, what do you feed it? That's the big thing. Because Americans, all of our beef, first of all, is Black Angus for the most part. 90%. Right. They make big ads on TV. Oh, Black Angus. Well, I got news for you. It's all Black Angus. And it depends on what you feed. Now, they advertise grass-fed beef. And that sounds good. And that sounds healthy. Cows eating grass like cows should do. No. It makes for, I'm sure all the vegetarians are going crazy here, but it doesn't make for a good meat because it doesn't fatten up the cow. It doesn't give it marbling, which is, if you look at a good steak, you'll see all these little white things. And that's because we fatten them up with grain. Oatmeal, oats and grains and stuff like that. So we get really good, marbly, juicy beef in the United States. Here, they get kind of tough, and you have to have, and then there's part where they feed it grass for part of its life, and then the last year, they'll feed it grain. And it's beef It's now I can go to Lowry's. See, now here's where it's not third world. They have a Lowry's, the prime rib, which is from Beverly Hills, and I went over there and I go over there and get a prime rib every once in a while, but it cost me $120, but it's a prime rib, and you can get nice filet mignons. You can go to steak restaurants and good, but it costs a lot of money. So that's why I'm saying.
So a lot of that is imported then.
Yeah. They do grow some. I mean, they do have ranches and beef here, but it's just not. It's not. It tastes a little funky. It's kind of tough. It's not juicy. So
yeah. So I think I might lean more towards the water buffalo. The only thing is, it's probably because it would remind me of doing, let's say, stand-up comedy in the Tenderloin after midnight on a Tuesday. It's a little tough. It's a little funky, but I'm going with it. So, all right, I got you.
So that's the biggest thing. And not that I can't get now. Now, if I want McDonald's, I can go down the street here and get McDonald's. They have Shake Shack. They have Cheesecake Factory. They have Sizzler. They have Krispy Kreme.
And all that stuff tastes is like it does here, because it's out of a box, or it's out of a bag, or it's out of something.
Well, they do tend to go with the local tastes, as all fast food companies that go international. They do try to adapt a little bit. So when you go to the McDonald's here, instead of getting an apple pie or a cherry pie, you might get a pineapple pie. You might get a corn pie, or you might get a taro pie. But as far as the basics, you can get a Big Mac. You can get a double Big Mac, a quarter pounder, and they're cheaper than what they're going for now. I watched the news about the fast food places. But I mean, all that stuff is here. They have Swenson's. They have a lot of companies that went dead in the United States, but are thriving here. So it's not like I'm on a lonely desert with only Thai food. I eat a lot of great sushi, but I have a restaurant. I go to a German restaurant. And it's German food with German people fixing it, and German owner, and Germans eating German food in Thailand. So how weird is that?
Right.
So, it's affordable. That's one of the points I'm trying to get across.
Right.
I just travel. I just see. The health and people ask me about health. Well, I had a quadruple bypass here about 2 years ago. My heart, I'm 73 years old, and so I guess that was it. I was 70 years old. That's what I got for my birthday. It was right around my birthday when I turned 70, and I had to get
for the man who has everything. What do you get him for his 70th birthday? Is a quadruple bypass. Okay, gotcha.
But the hospitals here are wonderful. First of all, they're a lot cheaper. I have health insurance anyway, but things are so much cheaper here, and they're honest about how much they're going to charge you. They don't hide it, and you go home and you get a bill. And, oh my God! They'll tell you. They'll say, "Look, you want a hip replacement? It's how this is how much it is," and you get great private rooms, and it's every bit as good as any hospitals that you would find. Now they have government hospitals for the people. Gee, they have public health insurance for citizens. And the United States can't seem to come up with that, but they have that here. It's very cheap. Medicines are cheaper. Let me give you a little example of how badly you get screwed. One of the times I came here, I thought, I'll get a blood test, check everything. So I went into a hospital, and they're quick. You walk in and you're seeing a doctor within 15 minutes. You don't have to make an appointment if you want one. You can make one. But so I went in and I said, give me the Class A, double, triple A, plus blood tests for everything. And so they did, and it came back all right. Except the guy said to me, you have hepatitis C. And I thought, oh, fuck, hepatitis C. How would I get that? And I looked it up. I mean, I'd heard of it before, but I mean, this is what you get with you shoot needles and, and dirty tattoo things and stuff like none of the activities of how you get this would include me. So I was stunned and I said, geez. And I went back home and he told me, he said, wait 3 months, go back home, wait 3 months and get tested again. Well, it turned out to be a false negative or a false positive rather. But during that time, I looked up hepatitis C and until just recently, this was a few years ago now, they had no cure for it. But at that time now, then they had this pill thing that you could take for 3 months, pills once a day for 3 months. And it was $89,000. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. For a pill a day for 90 days, $89,000. I can't afford that. This is when I still thought I had hepatitis C. And and then I got tested and my doctor told me, he said, no, you don't have hepatitis C. He said, they use a test over there that's not quite ours. He says it's accurate, not 100% accurate. So you got this false positive. And I was, oh, thank God. But in that time, I did research about how much. Now, the same pills over here for 90 days.
Right.
$1,500.
Whoa.
And if you wanted to hire a guy from India to fly him the pills from India, same company, same pills, exact same thing. From India, it was $1,000. But if you wanted to sit here and just buy them in Thailand, those pills would have been $1,500, not $89,000. And at that point, that was a point when I said to myself, this is not right. We're really getting screwed here. And I've just had the opportunity to compare what happens at a hospital when you go into a hospital in the United States and what happens when you go here, and it's a totally different experience. So that's one of the things people ask me about. They ask me, what do you do for a living? How do you support yourself? Well, luckily I'm in a position where I don't have to work. But the other thing is that you can't work. That's one of the things that the Thai government is very specific about. The rule is goes like this: if a Thai person can do it, then you can't do it. If you can do it and a Thai person can't, then so a lot of people get jobs teaching English, which is, well, Thai person necessarily can't do this, but some of them do that. So there's a lot of English teaching going on.
So you can do stand up there.
Yeah, but I can't get paid for it. I can't do anything where I can. In fact, I've heard stories of people getting pulled over by immigration and either fined or deported for working on their own car. So they don't want you. Thais are very, yeah. So you can't own land. You can buy a condo. I own my condo, but I can't work. Now this is a place for a lot of digital nomads. They come here and they work on their computer. So technically they're not working in Thailand. So a lot of young 20-somethings, 30-somethings come here and have jobs where they can work on their computer and, from Canada or wherever and make money.
I love being your little loophole. I love being your little loophole. I love knowing that basically that this podcast is being made and produced in the good old US of A.
Yes, it is.
So that'll
American
be good.
Made podcast. But I think I have the opportunity, the unique opportunity to look at the United States from the outside now. I don't live there anymore. I keep saying, well, they're going to have to do something about this country. Well, wait a minute. I'm not in that country anymore. And I watch the news. I watch what's going on. I did not leave because of Trump, though I did think we left America I mean, this was a long time in the planning. I mean, from when I put money down on the condo and from when it was built was 3 years. And Trump wasn't in the occasion at all. But he worked his way in there. And we left. We had sold our house. We had sold our car. We put a bunch of stuff in a 40-foot container and started shipping it. We were going to get here before the container. No, actually, the container was going to get here, and then COVID hit. So that was a whole new thing, and we didn't have anywhere to go. So I went to Los Angeles for about a week and saw some friends and said goodbye. And on November 4th, 2020, my wife and I got on a plane and headed out on election day. And I posted on my Facebook page that classic scene in every movie where Dr. Evil's island is blowing up in the background and the heroes, the man and woman, are running towards the camera, you know,
and the explosion behind them,
and explosion behind them going off. And there's been many scenes like that in movies. And I put a similar shot of that up and said, Lynn and I are leaving America. And that's the way I felt about it. And I've been here for 4 years. The people say, do you speak Thai? And I say, Chai. I speak Thai, a little bit Thai. I speak Thai at the level of about a 2-year-old. I know my food. I know hello. I know enough to let a Thai person know that I'm not a tourist.
Just enough not to be insulting or whatever, right?
Yeah, just enough to not to know, just enough to let them know that I'm not stupid. I know what's going on. And they say things and I'll go, I heard you say that. and they'll look at me, but they're very happy to know that you give the effort to, but it's real basic. And you know what? I don't have to learn Thai for 2 reasons. Number one, a lot of stuff is in English, and in the city of Bangkok, a lot of Thais speak English, not on various degrees of quality, but they speak a lot more English than I speak Thai. But I know all my food. I know yes and no, hot and cold, up and down, right and left. I know my numbers. Something that a tourist would not know, and I let it be known so they know I'm not a tourist.
Tourist is like, where's the bathroom? Where's the hotel? Where's the yeah.
Well, see, now bathroom, you don't say bathroom, you say toilet, which we use in the United States too. But most people, Americans, they'll say bathroom, but here it's toilet. It's not sidewalk here; it's footpath. It's not crossing walk, it's zebra crossing. So there's all these little things you have to kind of adjust to. And I speak a decent amount of Thai. And for 2 reasons, again, I say, number one, a lot of them speak English. A lot of advertising is in English. It'll be in Thai and then it'll say English, whatever it is in English. Menus are in English. A lot of the Thais know enough English, especially in a restaurant or something. You go in there, they know the words in English that they need to know for their business. It's a shoe store or whatever. And thank God for Google Translator.
Right.
I can talk, I can text, and I can even point it at signs and push a button and it will translate. So if I get, like tonight, I had a little problem. I bought something and I didn't have the directions. I just took out my phone and I put it in Thai to English, took a picture of it and read it and got the directions. So it's not, now, again, it's not for everybody. It's a little bit like camping. Sometimes you got to go looking for stuff. There are a lot of foods I miss, but there's a lot of stuff. I go to this store called Villa, which is a huge chain here in Thailand. And they got about 50 different stores. And I get Bush's baked beans. I can get Oreos. I can get some Oscar Mayer products and Clausen's pickles. And
so you can get some of your creature comforts.
Yes. marshmallow. I mean, things I shouldn't be eating probably anyway. But they have a decent amount. The Marie Callender's, frozen pies, and Hungry Man. There's stuff I really don't buy all that much anyway. But there's a decent. Thais tend to think of Farangs, people that look like me, as kind of the same thing. So me and a French guy, the Thais are the same. And
well, I'm wondering if that's why you and I have connected, because I remind you that much more of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
I was its double in Ghostbusters 1. You don't remember that? I was the stand-in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the Stay Puft guy. So yeah, that was me. That was me. That was
earlier
me. I was thin then. So. I hope
got credit. But it's there's not a lot of stuff I wish I could. Believe it or not, I have to look around for Chinese food. They have a Chinatown here, but it's Thai Chinese, and Americans they don't know. They're eating American Chinese food, kind of like Hong Kong food, but real Chinese.
What's the difference? Tell us what the difference is in your eyes.
It's stuff you wouldn't want to eat.
Oh, it's like squids and tentacles and stuff in it. Oh, it's not like It's not like Mongolian beef with onions and all this other stuff, right? Got you.
No. Real Chinese food is a little bit. But I did go to Hong Kong, and they have great noodles and stuff, and they do have Chinese food here. But a lot of Chinese food has things that will burn your mouth, or just not something you're interested in eating. But I get sweet and sour. I have a Chinese restaurant I found out, and sweet and sour pork. But you got to understand, sweet and sour pork is not Chinese. You go to China and ask them for sweet and sour pork.
That's about as American as you can get.
Yeah, it's It's a style of food. It's American Chinese food,
right?
And so, but I can get just about this Greek food here and German food. And so it's very multicultural. It's a long flight to get here. From Los Angeles, it can be anywhere from 19 to 25 hours. You usually have to stop somewhere, and I just I get out and walk around. I have a park not too far from me with giant monitor lizards in it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. The foliage, the flowers here are great. The fruit is now. See, on the other hand, the plus, you can get these huge shrimp, delicious shrimp out of the Gulf of Thailand, and you can get like 4 or 5 of them for $3. You can get giant lobsters here for. I mean, they're not cheap, but they're things you wouldn't find. I like the soups. I like a lot of Thai soups, and you're not going to find those in a lot of Thai restaurants in America because they just don't make it. They want to sell you pad Thai. They want to sell you probably the dishes that you, if you're an American, you eat Thai restaurants. You go, oh, I like that pad Thai, and that's Thai food. But you come here to Thailand and you pay $2 for it, and it's so much better than the one you paid $12.95 for in Austin. It kind of ruins it for you. So I come here. My wife and I, once or twice a week, we go over to the mall here. It's got a food court in the bottom, and there's a little lady behind the counter there, and she makes this great rice noodle soup with pork and fish balls and things in it. And it's a $2 soup, but it's got so much stuff in it, and peanuts and egg, and it's absolutely delicious. It's like no other thing. So
yeah, where else in the world can you go to have a $2 bowl of soup that's like a meal?
Yeah, and true, and it's delicious. It's absolutely delicious, and there's no tipping over here, so I probably save hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars a year. Now I do tip. But here, if somebody does something for you, go to a restaurant here, and if you leave them 20 baht, which is about 66 cents, they're happier than shit. Oh, thank you. Oh, if of course that's me spending $6 or so. If I go to a nice restaurant, then they'll add a service charge of 10%. 10%. I mean, I see things on Facebook now where people are expecting 20 and 30% tips on stuff, and I'm thinking, oh my God. So here, if I spend $100, they'll add a $10 service charge and a nice restaurant, and I go, great, go ahead.
What a great deal, because you know exactly what you're spending.
Right. In fact, sometimes I had an incident once when I first got here. I left a tip at a little place where I bought some soup and left, and the waitress came chasing me down the street and said, "Oh, you forgot your money! You forgot your money!"
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it's almost bad form. They're like going, "What's going on here?"
In Japan, if you tip, it's an insult. So I say,
yeah, you gotta know what's going on.
Everybody, I recommend as a world traveler myself, and I've been all over the world, different countries, Europe and or every place. It's always a good idea to research the country, research the traditions, the culture,
the customs. Oh yeah.
Customs, hand signals. We go like this in the United States. Okay, well, some countries that means you're an asshole.
Right.
And so you got to be careful. Here in Thailand, just for a few little, just a couple of samples, you don't touch ties on the head. You don't, even little children, you don't pat them on the head. You don't point your feet at ties. Like you don't take off your shoes and put your feet up on the table and point your feet at them. Here's an interesting one. If you drop a coin on the ground and it starts rolling, you don't step on it, so you can catch it, because it's got a picture of the king on it. And that's considered very, very disrespectful. Now, that sounds like something you couldn't even write, but that's true. So I've told my friends to come over, and I said, listen, if you ever drop a coin and it starts rolling, don't do the thing where you step on it to stop it, because you'll get some looks, if not some yells at you about it.
Wow.
So little things like that. And, everywhere I go, I try to learn some basic things. Thank you. So cup kun cup is in Thai. Here's a little thing about Thai language. If you're a man, when you finish a sentence, you say cup. If you're a woman, you say ka.
Okay.
This is something that develops. So you'll hear a lot of women when they'll say a sentence in a ka, ka, and same thing with men. A cup. It's a form of respect. And when I first came here, the maids at the hotel, they would say to me, "Oh, sweaty cup, sweaty ka, sweaty ka." So I was going around saying to people, "Sweaty ka, which is all right if you're a lady boy and you think you're a woman.
So you were sending the wrong message, or maybe it was the right message?
The wrong message.
Okay.
I thought the maids were saying "swati cup" to me, so I was, and then I go, "Oh no, you gotta say swati." So they would say "swati ka," and I go, "Oh, I gotta say "swati cup." So yeah, it's just little things like that you learn. So I live in Thailand. That's going to be part of this podcast. That's pretty much the explanation of why I live here. I live here with my wife. And I have started to do a little stand-up comedy here, though I can't get paid for it. They have little comedy clubs and comedy nights, and I just do it because I'm a natural-born comedian, and I think of funny stuff, and I go, I got to tell somebody this. So I have been getting up and
isn't it still, is it like for me, is it a coping mechanism? It's a form of expression. You might as well lock yourself away in your little closet right there.
Yeah. We say here, I talk to myself all the time anyway, so you might as well listen in. And right. I think of jokes. I'm not, I found over, and you probably found this too, over the years, different comedians have different. People always ask, how do you come up with your material? Well, different comedians have different ways of coming up with material. I know guys, friends of mine, who will sit down at a computer and sit there and
hammer out
jokes. Me, stuff just hits me. And I go, oh, that's fine. Like I came up with this bit the other day about why people pay so much for these. You can buy these watches here for $50 that look like Rolexes, and they look just like a Rolex or a one of those expensive brands. And let's see. Oh, I'm unfortunately getting a.
And I see it. Don't worry. I'm gonna do a little business while you're fixing that. You guys are watching the Kirchenbauer Haffenhauer. That's right. It's a podcast and a half. That's right. Go reach out, follow Bill wherever you can. There's his social media pages. There's his YouTube, his Instagram, his Facebook. Go check him out. He's doing all this stuff in Thailand. You can keep up. And if you like, subscribe, and ring that little bell, folks, if you do that, you'll be able to know exactly when another Kirchenbauer Haffenhauer drops. So that'll be really cool. And I know I'm going to go see if we're back yet. It looks like we lost them a little bit. But until next time, guys, it's the Kirchenbauer Haffenhauer. Please make sure to go follow, like, subscribe, and do all that stuff. I'm going to get him back on the line. Let me see if I can get him back. And you guys won't even know that he was gone. Here we go. All right. So, again, it's the Kirchenbauer Haffenhauer. I know Bill is there. You're there, right, Bill?
Yeah.
All right.
I can't. Can you see me?
We can't see you, but we can hear you. I've got your splash screen up. I was just telling them if they go like, subscribe, and ring the bell, they will make sure to get notifications when another Kirchenbauer Haffenhauer drops. So I'm really excited about this, guys. This is just episode 1. Please go like, subscribe, and again, ring that little bell. We'll see you guys next time here. And until then,